Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. I'm Phil, back in my car. My laptop appears to be fixed, but if I disappear at any point, it clearly wasn't. Ant, how are you?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I am good. For those watching along on YouTube, just admiring your very colourful jumper today. It's an absolute beauty.
It's a gnome riding on a unicorn in the sky.
Good grief. You are a fashion icon, my friend. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you, Mike?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, I'd like to go one step further because it's lovely that we've drawn attention to your jumper. We haven't mentioned the hat that is in combo with it.
It's a headband.
It's a headband. Okay. It looked very African Cup of Nations, your get-up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It really does. That's a good shout.
A little tribute to AFCON.
Love that.
I imagine if there was, let's say, Burkina Faso, I don't know the flag of Burkina Faso, but if somebody showed me that picture of a unicorn riding a rainbow, a gnome riding a unicorn on a rainbow, I reckon that could pass as the Burkina Faso flag and people wouldn't ask too many questions.
Quick knowledge check. Capital of Burkina Faso, Mike?
B.
Incorrect. So, Ouagadougou.
Brilliant.
So, gents,
Thank
you.
do. Push pineapples.
Well, you've now offended all our Burkina Faso and listeners, so thank you.
That's a shame. That's a shame. My apologies.
Yep. So this week we're going to discuss how to actually try and enjoy FPL, considering what the season's been like, and whether we should free hit or not, and if we're not free hitting, then whether we should skew all our teams, because there's a double game week on the cards, and as we know, we're good at failing double game weeks, but it has been a hard season so far. And it feels like every time we come back to do the podcast that we have to kind of refocus, because there's either been a huge gap in fixtures. It feels like we've had so many international breaks, or there's been, like this week, cup breaks, or there's been so many games that haven't been on and been postponed. And so it's just so hard to plan that pretty much every bit of planning gets done at the last minute. How are you finding it, Mike?
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my colleagues, Dan, who this game week triple captained Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So he triple captained him with two winnable games in mind. Sadly, the second one was cancelled, and so the only points he got were a triple on a -2 for missing a penalty. So his triple captain has gained him -6 points.
This guy sounds like an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is outrageous.
My season's been atrocious, but even I've not quite stooped to those low levels just as yet.
Oh man,
wow.
man, yeah,
absolute scenes.
Yeah, that isn't good. I remember last season, Bednarek, I think, got like -5 or something, or -7 or something absurd.
He got -7 at Man United, didn't he? Because he got sent off, scored an own goal. He was on the pitch after they conceded 5 goals, I think. So yeah.
But last season was still more fun than this season. It feels like, so we play football on Monday night, as you both are aware. We play on a Monday night with a group of friends. We pick teams like we're in school playground. And Mike is a bit like a school bully in that he decides he wants to be captain every week. And
no. People feel uncomfortable about the pressure of being a team captain. I'm happy to take that on my shoulders.
Take it on your shoulders and then pick the most absurd teams like this week when a couple of minutes into the game I turned to Ant and said, what's gone on here with these teams then? Oh yeah, Mike was captain.
But hold on, you're referring to me as bullying, and I don't like that very much. What happens is there are 2 people picking teams. We take it in turns, right? I mean, I don't say I'm having all of these guys. We take it in turns. What I do is I pick a very good team.
Yeah, I noticed. And the thing is, you also pick who the other captain is. And the other captain on Monday night was a lovely guy called Rich. And he just picks a random team. It appears, a random assortment of players. But it backfired on Monday because you lost. But that was...
Thanks for reminding us.
But as I started that game, it was a bit like every week when I start fantasy football and think, oh, boy. I mean, we had Paul at the back. I mean, he's got the longest legs in the world. Thank goodness we had Paul at the back. But it's hard, isn't it? When you stare at a game like that to think. I was tempted just to go home.
Sorry,
I felt like Ant on fantasy football. I just want to quit.
I think we've just lost the few listeners that were still left in Burkina Faso. I think they've just shut down.
Yeah.
Where is this going somewhere related to FPL, or are you just having a bit of a rant?
Well, it's a bit of a rant, but also it is related to FPL in the way that it is tempting just to quit right now, but it can bear fruit in the end, as we realised, because on Monday I scored myself a hat-trick and our team won, 6-3 or something. So, just keep persevering.
Oh, Aesop will be jealous of that fable.
He really will. He really will.
I mean,
but it is tough at the moment, isn't it? How do you keep on going? Is it the fact that if we didn't do this podcast, would you carry on this season, Ant?
Yeah, I love it.
No.
Oh.
But then again, I am a big baby and I do like to throw my toys out the pram. And I think historically, when I've looked, I think over the last 6 seasons of FPL, so pre-podcast, I quit around Christmas in 3 of them.
Yeah, well, there is that.
So it's quite standard for me to do that. But actually, the podcast is good for me because it's making me continue and plod on and do things like play my free hit a couple of weeks ago when I got 29 points.
Yeah, well, that you've got another free hit available this week, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be played this week, boys. But we will get into that.
There are little wins, though, guys, along the way. You're not necessarily going to win the war, and definitely not going to win the war. But you might win. You might win the occasional battle. That's true. Good. I mean, how miserable was last week when we had no FPL games and we were just resorted to watching FA Cup? No offense. Well done, Cambridge. Well done, Kitty. But I was really bored. So I like it. It's a lovely little hobby, and I'm happy with those little wins. Yes, I've made 5 transfers already this week, but if I beat you guys, even without a net score, I'll be delighted.
Oh, you got such a good outlook on it, Mike.
How many transfers have you made?
People should listen to you. 5 so
far. 5 so far this week.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody on Twitter has got that on a cushion, and we do need to purchase that for Mike, I feel. So would you agree?
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
What? You sit on it and then it makes that audio?
Oh, that'd be even better.
That would be amazing. Yeah, let's look into that. Happy times.
Some sort of whoopee cushion of Toto Wolff.
Yes.
Can I just clarify? Have we had any game week since we last podded? We haven't, have we?
No.
So there's nothing to add to the hamper, and there's no punt involvement at this point.
No, absolutely none.
Okay, all right.
So I see what you're saying. Let's
move it along. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay. Well, I've got in my rant about you picking teams on Monday, so I'm happy to end the podcast now. But it is
just as a slight finish to the conversation, the option is there for you to be a team captain as well.
Oh gosh, no, because I have nothing to moan about.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I do my
18 times.
I was that amped up about how angry I was with the teams that at one point I scored a hat-trick. I've said that already. We don't have to go on about it. Scored a header, which was a rare treat. But when you are really, really pumped, you make bad decisions. And one of your players took a shot. He belted it, and I thought, I don't care. I'm going to clear this with my head, right? And I headed it clear. And honestly, for the next sort of 3 or 4 minutes, I could barely see. I was just playing it cool.
Okay, we're still talking. We're still talking about a kickabout we had on AstroTurf.
Okay, time for a quiz.
It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by the listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz.
Oh,
There we are. By the way, that was my daughter. I had my other daughter was. Going off.
Oh God, are you gonna tell us? You're gonna tell us about the story when you beat her at Monopoly or something?
No, Rubber Ducky Online. Question: what's longer, this intro or Game Week 21?
A good point, well made, Rubber Ducky.
Definitely.
My 5-year-old spent 20 minutes crying last night because she fears that when she gets married, we're not going to let her live with us. If anyone else has got daughters, can they explain how to cope with them? I don't know what to say to these things.
Wait till they're 12, and their outlook will very much have changed.
Okay, that's the spirit. So the quiz is on. Freeway quiz. Whoever loses gets their captain picked by a listener, and that will be Craig Krauf this week.
Go on, Craig Krauf. Okay.
Lovely, Craig. So I've got a question. I'm ready to go if you want.
Yeah,
Do
sure
it.
thing.
Okay. So as it's time to refocus and try and remember what on earth is going on, and we're recording this on Wednesday lunchtime. Don't even know what day it is. There we go. Before the West Ham game tonight. I don't even know who West Ham are playing, but I know
Norwich.
I've got 3 players. Norwich. Oh, massive,
Yeah,
massive. It's not on TV, is it? Or is it?
I don't know.
Don't think it is, no.
Why is it not on TV? Why were none of the games last night on TV? We don't have time for this, but someone have a word. So, to try and refocus, I'm looking at the top 20 in-form players.
Unbelievably, this is exactly the same one that I picked.
Well, you should have a leg up and you might not lose.
Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, I mean, really?
Yeah,
You've both pre-planned the same quiz, and I'm just going to sit here and lose to Ant.
Well,
I mean-
Ant, are you looking at the screen now?
I've got the answers in front of me, so it feels like I would slightly have a heads up on this one.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know if Rubber Ducky is pulling my chain here, but he's claiming that the game tonight's been called off.
I
Oh,
think
that would
he is to use your quote, pulling your chain.
That
Is
would
he
be
pulling my chain? Because
why
I don't know
don't-
what to believe anymore. Because apparently Chris Wood's worth £20 million, and I'm
Mm.
so confused with life.
Mm.
So
Now,
yeah, I think he's pulling my chain. Let's play the game anyway and find out.
oh, okay, this seems very incredibly fair. Let's go for it. Ant, how many can you name? 20?
I mean, I have now closed the tab, and I didn't really look at them, to be honest, boys, because I was prepping it for you boys, so I didn't actually really look. But
Okay.
This is a challenge. Ant's staring at Mike. You're staring at a challenge here, like I was on Monday, and I succeeded. I don't know if I
Can
told
we
you. Scored a
stop
hat-trick.
talking
You
about
can
Monday?
do this. You can do this.
Okay, thank you.
How many can you
I
name?
feel motivated. 2.
2. Sweet.
3.
4.
3. You've been looking.
Let's jump to 5.
6.
8.
Yeah, you can have 8.
Okay.
8 of the
form.
informed players. Given that you've just looked at all the actual answers, away you go.
Yeah.
Well, I know one of them that I did see the top one because it amazed me. It's Gordon, isn't it, of Everton?
It is Gordon, the one of the least popular trains on Thomas Tank Engine. Gordon.
Who is your favourite Gordon other than Anthony Gordon?
Oh, good question.
Gopher?
Gopher's a cracking shout. It really is.
Yeah, Dale Gordon, but I didn't really know much about him. It was a bit before
Yeah.
my time. Yeah, I'd probably say
Norwich and Bournemouth winger, Dale Gordon. Yeah, Gordon Bennett is mine, but
Gordon Brown?
Gordon Brown. Well,
Anyway, my second answer will be Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, okay, that's 2. He's in there.
Another name I do remember from having the results in front of me was James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, he's second in the form table.
Oh my goodness.
You've gone for
I
8
know.
here, Ant. I mean,
know.
James
I've only looked
Ward-Prowse
at the
in his
top
last
two.
James Ward-Prowse his last 4 games 9, 13, 9, 7.
Oh, hang on a minute. Tierney, because he's in my team. He's been doing well. One of the few players who's been doing well in my team.
That's 4. You're right.
Martinelli.
It's there. 5. 3 more to find, Ant. What can you remember from that screen? Did you take a mental photo?
No.
Ah.
Other than the top 2, which I've already named.
Mm.
A man who's now out, injured, which is good for me because I think you boys have both got him. Son of Spurs.
He is there. 2 more to find.
He's no son. He's no son of mine, lads. To quote Phil Collins, I've transferred him out.
Of course you have.
Mm.
2 more to find, Ant.
Oh, yeah, Saka for Arsenal. He's been good, but has he been that good?
Is he one of your answers?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, he's 4th on that list that you must still have open. You need 1 more for the most controversial quiz victory we've had for a long time.
I mean, this is hugely
Poor
controversial.
Mike.
It's fine,
I mean,
lads. It's fine.
It feels like it should be null and void, but bear in mind, me and Phil bought a bread maker within 3 days of each other. It's not surprising we have this kind of same telepathy.
That's correct. No one needs to hear about the bread maker again. I would suggest,
they don't.
Mike, and I'm happy to do this if Mike is, because it's a democracy, that
Yeah.
we say that Ant has to get 2 more than he went for.
No, it's fine. It's fine, lads.
Okay.
We'll. I'm a man of the people. I'll play the game as apparently has been stitched up and crack on. It's fine.
Okay, go on then, Ant.
I'm going to go for a player who I'm actually hoping to bring in this week, James Maddison.
He's burnt you on so many occasions.
He really-
Leicester,
Well, and you.
yeah, correct. Leicester have, let's not forget, called off their last game, even though it was the day after they played another
Nuts.
game. I mean,
Oh,
what's
no.
going on there? But Maddison is there.
Oh, blimey, Charlie.
Top
Well, it
20.
feels
Cancelo,
like a
Trent,
hollow fig tree.
Broja, Kilman, Lookman, Maddison, Tierney, Son, Laporte, Martinelli, Cody, Schmeichel, De Bruyne, Edouard, Iheanacho, Mahrez, Saka, Sace, Ward-Prowse, and Gordon the Gopher.
Oh,
There we
well,
go.
what a terrific victory for the underdog. Well done, Ant.
Sorry, Mike.
That's great.
I can only hold my hands up on that
It
one.
was a bit like that game where people used to put a tray of like objects and cover it up with a tea towel, then take the tea towel and the tray away, and then you'd have to remember what was underneath there. But you would, I'd rate you to do quite well on that. Should I do mine?
Yeah, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
find a new one now, so go for it.
Before I do, just let you know that Gordon Bennett was in fact a real person. He was a very controversial journalist who was the first of his kind, really, to do sort of kiss and tell stories back in the 1800s. So when you did something
Wow.
outlandish, people would say, Gordon Bennett.
Would
There
they?
you go.
I just thought
So
of
from
another
here on in, like if somebody, I don't know, cheats in a game or is not particularly good at a game, they just go, Anthony Kellett. That's, yeah. Anyway,
Gordon from the
Love
British
it.
Empire.
Oh, good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Filmed
shout.
just a couple of miles up the road.
Indeed.
Yes. Right. Okay, then, lads. So it's not getting enough coverage, apparently. So I'd like to give over the African Cup of Nations, and I'm going to get you to take it in turns to name teams that are competing in this year's African Cup of Nations. There are 24 to choose from. And I'm going to say heads or tails, lads.
Tails never fails.
I'm afraid it was heads.
It's failed. Can't not
it's
believe
heads.
this.
So, Anthony, you get to go first. But if you get an incorrect answer, you're out. You just keep going till there's an incorrect answer. Anthony, away you go.
And I've just a heads up, you will definitely lose this because I've been watching some games of very obscure teams.
I've not seen any of it, or taken any interest in it at all. Senegal.
I'm going to do this in the style of the FA Cup draw. Senegal, yes, runners-up in 2002 and 2019. Senegal.
Oh, lovely. You've even got the voice to go with it.
Thank you.
Cameroon.
Cameroon, yes, this year's hosts, winners in 84, 88, 2000, 2002, and 2017. The most, second most wins of any nation at the African Cup of Nations.
Oh, good grief. Geography. Nigeria,
yes, ranked 36 in the world and winners in 1980, 94, and most recently 2013.
I'm going to knock out teams that are easy to stitch Ant up, but I am going to show off with one. Anthony, the capital city is loosely linked to what people call you. Capital city of this country is Moroni, and
That's not very nice.
country is Comoros.
Pardon?
Comoros, yes, it's their debut this year in the African Cup of Nations. They're ranked the lowest team of all, 132 in the world.
Wow. I once went on holiday to this place and it was ridiculously hot. Tunisia.
Tunisia are there, of course, winners in 2004. It's their 20th appearance at the African Cup of Nations, ranked 30 in the world.
Can I ask if we've said something already, or
No, it's a game of memory, which will serve Anthony well.
No.
that's bad news for me.
Nuts. Well,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, and you.
Capital city is Lilongwe, and that country is Malawi.
Malawi, yes, they are ranked 129 in the world, and famously had a band named after them, Lake Malawi, in the Eurovision Song Contest.
I'll sleep better tonight for knowing that. Zimbabwe.
With at left back,
Come on.
Jordan Zamora of AFC Bournemouth. Yes, Malawi are there.
Did you make an elephant noise before you said that for a reason?
Because that's bordering on. Well, is it bordering on? No, it's not.
No.
Perfectly acceptable. Maybe Phil, you could do a different animal noise when you do yours this time.
I was.
Maybe another African. Maybe a zebra.
What's that?
What noise does a zebra make?
I'll go for a zebra noise, but I don't know if they're in this country. But I watched a enthralling game the other night, and one of the teams was Cape Verde, and I'm guessing I'll make the animal noise of a zebra, which will be something like
Certainly a frustrated zebra for sure.
yes.
Happened to us. We've all lost our minds.
They're ranked 73 in the world, and it's their third appearance at the African Cup of Nations, Cape Verde.
Oh no.
I'm not giving you much of a chance now, Ant.
Ghana.
Ghana, yes, very good. Winners 4 times, as early as 1963, but only as recently as 1982. Ghana are there.
I have no idea how I'm still in this.
I'm going to go for
It's terrible.
my favourite coloured coast, Ivory Coast.
Clever.
Ivory Coast, yes, of course. Winners in 2015, ranked 56th in the world. It's their 24th appearance at the African Cup of Nations, the second most experienced team at the tournament.
How you feeling, Ant?
Like I'm about to lose.
Could get messy.
Thank you. Morocco.
Morocco are there, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Clinging on here.
Winners in 1976 they were,
Them all.
which inspired the careers of Hassan Kashul and Georgie Hadji.
Really?
I'm loving these stats, Mike.
No, Georgie
Georgie
Hadji was
Hadji was
Romanian.
Romanian.
He was
Yeah.
Romanian. Mustafa Hadji.
So the game I watched was Cape Verde versus Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, yes, indeed. Ethiopia. They are there somewhere. I'm just going to say,
They
yes,
definitely
Ethiopia.
played. They
Do
definitely
you know
played.
they won in 1962?
I didn't know that, but I do know that now. And
This is dragging on, isn't it, lads?
it is. I didn't expect Dan to get this far. In truth.
No, nor did I. Nor did I.
He must have said the one that I thought that I was unsure someone said.
And I've got a clue.
Go on,
really?
I'll give Ant a little. Yeah.
It's good that he needs more help.
I was going to say, yeah, I've had
Cool runnings. Cool runnings.
What?
Cool runnings.
What is that clue?
Really?
I mean,
That's
it's
Jamaican.
questionable as a clue. I'm not sure that's helpful.
What about Burkina Faso?
Burkina Faso. Yes, I did give you quite the hint about them earlier on.
I thought that, yeah.
Yeah, it's their first appearance since 2017. They're there.
Okay, I'm going to go for my second favourite type of pig, Guinea.
Yeah, what's your first favourite pig?
Just a standard. Well, actually, it's a domesticated micro pig.
Sorry,
but-
could you extend upon the name of Guinea, please, for me?
Oh dear.
Well, I'm just saying Guinea. There are 3 guineas in the tournament, I believe. I can give
So
you
you're
all
just
3 if
saying
you
you're
want,
just
if you
saying
want me to show
standard
both.
Guinea. No, just standard Guinea. That's fine.
Yep.
Okay, Guinea's gone. And cool runnings.
You can't do that.
Cool runnings is Jamaica. I don't understand.
Okay, I thought you might assume that Jamaica was in Africa. It's all right, fine. Carry on.
Oh,
Trying to trick
okay.
you.
Brilliant. Well, I'm stupid. I'm not that stupid. Oh my goodness.
Crack
Now I'm
on, lads.
struggling.
Good.
Now I'm really struggling.
Oh, you sound like Alan Sugar.
The only one
He always says that line in The Apprentice. Oh, and now I'm really struggling. So I've decided I'm really
I can only
struggling.
think of 2, and I think one's already been said, which was Egypt.
Egypt has
So-
not been said.
Oh,
So
is it not?
Egypt is
Oh.
there.
I thought it'd
Yeah,
been said,
the
but thank
most
you, mate.
wins of any country in tournament history.
Well,
Okay,
this is taking up the whole pod here.
I'll go for my second Guinea then, Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau, yes, indeed. Is that your second favourite pig? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, they're there.
I can only think of one other, boys, and I'm not sure if this has been said either. Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone is there. Yes, indeed. Some diamonds in that team. Yeah, ranked 108th in the world.
Okay, I'm going to struggle after this.
Good.
Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea are also there, ranked 114th. It's their third appearance at the finals.
I mean, there can't be many left, can there? Good grief.
I'll be honest, I'm
I
losing interest myself.
I cannot think of. I mean, I've said probably twice as many as I expected. Morocco.
You've
You already said
already
that,
said
mate.
Morocco.
Oh, what a shame.
And with that, I'm afraid you are out.
well,
Congratulations. If you're playing along, I'll go very Richard
And
Osmond
if
here.
you were to have a car crash with Daniel James and it was all his fault and he injured your back, you might feel the need to sue Dan.
Sudan was there along with
You had that lined up ready,
Mauritiana.
didn't you?
Mauritiana.
feels like I had it written last night.
We didn't have many others. Gambia, Gabon.
Did we
with,
say Algeria?
Nope.
wow.
Algeria, of
Gambia,
course.
Gabon.
Get your Gabon.
Brilliant.
Get your Gabon and Senegal and Mali. They were the only others that we've not mentioned. By golly! So Ant's lost one. I've lost one. I don't know what this means now.
Well, it means that if I
I've got to win
win,
one.
yeah, you've got to win one.
Okay, crack on because
Right, boys.
Because
As we know,
people
I
are going to
prepared
get
the same
very
one
bored
as,
of this.
yeah, I prepared the same one as Phil. So I've just quickly got this one together. Bonus point system, boys. Top 15 players, bonus points wise. How many can you name? Mike, we'll go with you first, mate.
Across the whole season?
Yep.
4.
Top 15?
Top 15.
6, 7.
Oh. Yeah, I'll let you have it, mate. Crack on.
Right. Well, I mean, if he's not in, how many top what?
15. You got to name half of them, nearly.
I reckon I
All
can
the
do
very
that.
best.
I reckon I can do that.
Good. You got a minute to do it. Go.
Kukureya.
What? Yes, he's on there.
Of course
that's
he
a
is.
ridiculous first shout.
He's
Just
got
his
4
hair.
max bonus points. 4 max
You
bonus
did
points.
say that last week, yeah, and he's got lovely hair too.
Mikel Antonio.
Oh yes, yep. He's got 13 bonus points. He's just inside the top 10.
Salah has to.
Yep, second on the list with 20.
Okay. Trent.
Yep, top 27. No surprise there. 4 down, 3 to go, mate.
Ron Dennis.
The McLaren boss or former McLaren boss. Indeed, yeah. His namesake is sat there 5th in the list on 16. Yeah, so 2 to find.
2 to find. Cancelo.
Cancelo, yes. 3rd. So if you get this, unfortunately, Mike, who it feels like he's been rather harshly dealt with today, will have his captain picked.
Now I'm
no pressure. If you don't, it goes to a rollover.
Trying to think because strikers get a lot of bonus points. I'm trying to think which strikers have actually scored goals. I'm going to take a punt on your friend and mine, Neil Mopay.
Oh, of all the things to win it for you as well. Yes,
To
he
win-
is there. 14th on the list with 11 bonus points. Unbelievable. Well done, Phil. Poor Mike. I feel it's a little bit unjust to say the least, but I would run you through the list, boys, but I really don't want to. So you got half of them. Well done, mate. Mike, I think you've been rather harshly dealt with there, my friend.
Oh, Mike, turn
he's
your
so angry.
mic on.
He pulled his mic out.
Yeah, he's
He's
furious.
fuming.
Sorry, I've been pleasantly distracted by the delivery of a surprise Subway.
Ooh.
Oh, what have you got? The questions are rolling in about your sub.
So surprise Subway is always fun. So I just say, let's surprise me.
Oh, that's a dangerous game on a
Did they-
Subway.
Lots of salad, some pepperoni, some pastrami, some ham, I think. But it's very pleasant.
Oh no, it needs to be a meatball marinara with sweet corn, lettuce, onion.
That's the gamble you take, isn't it?
Well, I never take
Subway.
it. What's the
I
point?
feel like Subway are missing out. They should market surprise sub.
Okay, well they might do that. We'll have to find out. Maybe maybe email them.
Yeah, I might do.
So, gents, teams have got double game weeks this week. Should we run over quickly which teams? Are you interested? So Brentford play Liverpool and Man United. Brighton play Palace and Chelsea. Burnley have got an attractive double, but then you've got to remember they're Burnley. Leicester at home, Watford at home. Chelsea play Man City away and Brighton away. Leicester play Burnley away, Spurs at home. Man United play Villa and Brentford, both away. And I mean, they should have lost to Villa the other night. Spurs play Arsenal at home, Leicester away, and Watford play Newcastle and Burnley away.
So, is there anyone that you've cherry picked ahead of this week that you're going to bring in because of those games?
Well, it depends whether I'm free hitting or not. I've put together a little free hit team. Do you want to hear it or not?
Please
You do want to hear it? Okay, cool. So it's a bit showboatish in goal. So I've got De Gea with a backup of Arrizabalaga.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Then at the back, I've got Alonso for Chelsea, just because he was in my team. Emerson of Spurs, Reguilon of Spurs, although Emerson may well come out, and I'll come back to that. Cucurella, obviously, and then Loughton on the bench. I've got Greenwood in midfield for United because he has been starting. Ronaldo may have an injury still. Don't know. They're teasing. Trossard, Mike's favourite. Pulisic, Maddison, depending whether Leicester are playing. And then on the bench, McAllister of Brighton, who played well the other week, 5.3 million. What are your views on McAllister?
No, not for me, Clive.
Not with those fixtures either for me.
Okay, up front, Josh King, Ronaldo, Harry Kane.
Are you going with Josh King because too many people have got Dennis?
No, because he's on pens, and Dennis is marked as having a slight knock, although I'm not sure.
He's back in training, though. I saw a tweet yesterday from Watford saying he's back in training. I think, is there any fallout with him as well? Because, of course, he was denied being able to go and play in the Africa Cup of Nations, wasn't there? So wasn't he? Because he came off half-time, didn't he, in the last fixture, Watford? So
yeah, but
I think Josh King's a good shout.
I don't know if there's any fallout because he had fallen out with the Nigerian coach or the previous Nigerian coach beforehand and then refused to play for it. There's all sorts going on there. I think there's more to it than it seems. The only change I might make out of that, now knowing that Son is injured, is I might get rid of Emerson at the back and put Moura in midfield because with Son injured, Moura should hopefully get some minutes and he's all action, isn't he? But Spurs are terrible. So I fell for this last season. You'll probably remember that I went all in on a free hit, skewed my team for a number of weeks, all for sorry, not a free hit, a double game week, and I ended up on a double game week when I had like 18 players playing twice. I ended up with less than 50 points. So
good times.
Yeah, happy days, eh?
As we've talked about many times, it's difficult at the moment because you don't know what games are going to be called off. You know, you look at Leicester; they played their FA Cup game on Saturday, didn't they? And they beat Watford, and then 48 hours later, their game against Everton's postponed. So we just don't know, mate. You know, I'm looking at a free hit team as well because I've got lots of red and orange flags in my team. But again, it's going to be a complete finger in the air here as to who you pick because you just don't know. And that's what happened with me in the games between Boxing Day and Christmas. I brought in loads of players who either rested, injured, or got COVID. You just don't know.
2 quick questions.
Cool.
First of all, if I play my free hit, will the 5 transfers that I've made be rescinded?
Correct. They won't have cost you anything.
If I play my free hit, do I carry over a free transfer into the next week?
Only one. You can't. You'll go back down to having one free transfer next week, I believe.
Okay. See, I've when I've bought the guys in that I've bought them in with a view to longer term. So
yeah, because if you're not doing a free hit and then you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll grab some Chelsea players, that's all very good. But after this game week, they've got Spurs, and then they haven't got games for the next 2 game weeks because they're off doing their Super Cup or whatever it is. And the same temptation applies to another team. Brighton, they lose. They've got Leicester, and then they haven't got a game in game week 24. And then some of the double game week fixtures are pretty horrible. Like Spurs have got Arsenal and Leicester, which I actually think are decent fixtures because if Leicester play, they haven't been good defensively. But then after this double game week, they got Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, Man City. It's a bit of a mixed bag after for Spurs. So I wouldn't want loads of Spurs players long term. Whereas United have got Villa and Brentford this week, West Ham at home the week after, then Burnley, Saints, Leicester, Watford. I mean, so if you're going to invest in long-term players to have in the game week, I would maybe go Man United.
Which
they've
is
just
mad.
Been terrible, haven't they?
I was going to say they've been absolutely awful. I mean, obviously we all missed the game live on Monday because we were playing football, but I think we've all seen the highlights or watched it back. And They were so lucky to win that game, United. VAR with that bloody decision with Danny Ings' goal taking 4 minutes on that. Good chance for Villa to get revenge this weekend, but United, unfortunately, you just don't know what you're going to get, do you? And they are pretty diabolical. And there's been no improvement, has there, since Ollie got sacked?
No, but the issue with that, I mean, that VAR thing, the correct decision was made. Why is it taking 4 minutes? It kills the game. Just in my opinion, you either have the goal line technology and leave it at that, perhaps stretch to offside, because that's more black and white. Everything else, I wouldn't do with VAR. It just ruins the game so much.
I think United. You made an interesting point about Greenwood, that he is getting starts, but he's not being played through the middle.
No,
I think he's being wasted coming in off the wing. So yeah, I'm not convinced by Greenwood. Really, if I'm being honest,
I would.
That's the one Man United takeaway I have.
Yeah, the other issue we've got with United is if Ronaldo's injured, Bruno's more tempting. I can't get Bruno in because I'm doing a nice team, and we know that
Wow.
Bruno.
Sorry, what?
We cannot have that behaviour in this establishment.
Okay.
Bruno is very much a whinger, so I can't have that. I can't sit and cheer on someone who's constantly moaning.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fit into the shape of my team anymore. But Bruno's an option for people who got no moral standards. Bruno is an option. So, Ant, are you considering him?
No, but I'd say one consideration possibly for United. He started the last 2 games and played, I think, on Monday is Cavani. No, there's still a bit of a question mark, even if Ronaldo is going to be fit, isn't there? He's still, I think, only down to 75%. Would you be tempted? Bit of a cheaper option.
Yeah, I want to hear what happens in the press conference.
Yeah, I think any injury news from there, but he could be an option. 8.4 million at the moment. I actually really rate Cavani. I think he's a decent player, and certainly if Ronaldo isn't going to be fit, he's got to be an option, isn't he, with those 2 games?
Well, with the exception of, I mean, it's. I'm sure he'll be delighted to hear that you think it. What was your phrase about him? Quite decent.
Quite decent. Yeah.
The player in the last decade who've scored has only been outscored in the entire world by Messi or Ronaldo. I would imagine he'd take that as a compliment.
I'd say that is quite decent, to be fair.
It's quite decent.
he's nearly as good as Phil.
He is. I don't know if I told you he scored a hat trick the other day. Yeah.
Please, not again. Not again.
You pretty much brought it up.
I did. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. So what are we saying? So yeah, I'm now debating as to whether I rescind these 5 transfers, costing me 16 points.
How many free hits do you have left?
Oh, only the one, obviously. But
we've all used our first one, haven't we? And we all did terribly with it.
Absolutely
I'm just
wasteful.
wondering that there will be a double game week for, I imagine, a much improved Chelsea later in the season because they'll be playing the European Super Cup. So I was sort of holding out for using my wild card in that week, hoping that there'll be some other good double game weeks as well. Sorry,
your wild card.
No, wild card's long gone. Free hit. So but I have kind of thrown away 16 points, so maybe I need to think about that.
I think there will be, and I'm not Ben Crellin, but I think there will be a better double game week to use your free hit on than this one. Hopefully, also by that point, the COVID cases will be down slightly, and less chance of cancellation. So for me personally, because we have had questions, free hit or not free hit, I wouldn't free hit. I would just cope with, maybe having, 3 or 4 double game week players, but not skew my team towards them for any particular reason. I've got Son. So, boys, I've got Son, who's out until the end of January. Who would you transfer him out for? Who would you swap him over for? Would you just go to Moura?
I was drafting a free hit team, and Lucas Moura was in it, but also James Maddison, mate. I seriously think he's an option. He's banging form, as we know from the form table. He's inside the top 10. Leicester got a double game week this week. I definitely think he's an option.
He is the exact player that I've transferred Son out for, Maddison.
Well, there you go.
The issue is we just don't know what's going to happen with Leicester's COVID cases. I mean, they included. Ducky's put a thing live. Where he put a thing up on the YouTube.
Got a comment.
a comment on the YouTube saying that the Premier League set a very dangerous precedent by postponing Leicester game as it wasn't due to COVID. And that's correct, because they said, oh, yeah, we've got players at AFCON and also we've got injuries. I mean, they've got a 23-man squad.
Mm. Well,
I do think that some teams are taking the mick here.
there is definitely something going on, isn't there? Because, as I say, to have that 48 hours after they just played their FA Cup game where they were able to field a team fine, they must be able to put a team out. It seems a little bit too easy for teams to have games called off at the moment. And like you said, it's dangerous for them to just do that when it's seemingly not down to COVID. That's not right.
I would maybe say, instead of cancelling all these games, I would maybe let the Premier League extend the squad number to like 30. So then they can bring in some more youth teamers or whatever if they need to.
Well, they need to do something, because if this continues, there's going to be such a backlog of fixtures, isn't there, coming towards the end of the season?
Is that not an unfair advantage, though, to the bigger teams that have got, much more depth in their under 23 academy squads compared to, say, I don't know, a Burnley or a Norwich? If Norwich miss 10 players, it's a very different predicament to Chelsea missing 10 players.
Yeah, but it is, but that's just that's like saying, well, is it fair Man City are playing Norwich because Man City's players are a lot better?
It's better.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
I'm fine with Christian.
Mocking speech, how dare you?
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna play free hit then. So, and you're playing yours.
We
I think
literally
so.
just
I know you've just said don't do it, but I think I am going to do it.
The thing
That's
for me
fine.
is, like, I'm going to struggle to field a team here because I've got so many injuries that I've got about 6 or 7 players out at the moment. Just checking. In fact, let me just check my team. Obviously, I've still got Salah and Mahrez, who are the African nations. Let me just have a quick look.
Oh, yeah, that
I'm
is a
pretty
good
sure
point.
it's quite a few. Yeah, so I've got Salah out, Mahrez out, Smith Rowe's not been playing. TA's doubtful as well. Yeah, like Dennis is doubtful. Got James on my bench. He's not going to play, and Livramento as well. So I've got too many. I can't just make transfers. I don't take minus points like Mike does, as we know. So yeah, it feels like a free hit for me.
Yeah, maybe. I think Mike's at a point where he's made 5 transfers, which by anyone's standards is somewhat excessive this far away from the deadline, especially when
Yeah,
so much can still happen. So a
Yeah,
free
he does
hit,
love to do that.
a free hit to correct his mistake. Yeah, I can understand him doing that. I can
But
understand anyone free hitting. I mean, we had a question come in from FPL Commander. He's thinking of getting Maddison in for Son and just running with 4 double game week players. Is that good enough, or should he use a free hit and fill the squad with double game week players whilst COVID uncertainty exists in an underwhelming game week 22 double? And that's my point. It's kind of an underwhelming double game week, isn't it? There will be better ones, and
I think if you're having a good season, as I am not, you will probably be saving your money for a better double game week. However, I'm not having a good season, so I'm going for the hopeful of the hit now.
Yeah, that's the spirit. You're playing each game as it comes.
Thank you, mate. That's very much how I play it. But just going back to Mike and all his transfers, of course, we forget that Mike has beaten, I think, both of us, certainly me, when he started on a minus 16 already this season. So,
true story.
If your team's good enough, then the hits are worth it, aren't they?
So how many double game week players have you got, Mike?
Well, I wasn't really playing for the double game week specifically, but I've got Lloris, Alonso, Maddison, Lamperty, and Dennis. So I've got 5.
Okay. Yeah,
I was obviously that came into my consideration. There's a double game week coming up because most of these players are transfer out in a flurry before I know it. But yeah, I was looking long term at these as well.
Yeah. Okay. I've got Rudiger, which is really irritating because I don't want him in my team.
We cannot have that behavior in this establishment.
He's a really nasty player.
Bad boy.
Yeah, real bad boy. So I don't. So he's on my. I've benched him as punishment. I'm playing Craig Dawson ahead of him at the moment, but he has got 2 games this week against City and Brighton. So
not the
again,
easiest games, are they? And Chelsea, as we know, have been conceding goals. So they haven't kept a clean sheet for quite a while.
Yeah. This is a problem. This is going to be a big problem. But I think it's definitely a wait until the deadline sort of problem. If you
the deadline, which of course is early this week, Friday night, boys, Brighton home to Palace. So it's a 6:30 deadline. Do not forget that.
I will not forget that.
Yeah, we're going to have to make the changes earlier than normal. So it's going to be a bit of a headache over the next 48 hours, I would suggest.
Yep. Okay, I'll just check. I don't think we've got any more listener questions. So do we want to go to the preview?
I don't think we preview because we've touched on the games, but what I would like to talk about maybe to finish is some of the transfers that have come in into the Premier League during this period. Would that be okay? Shake it up a little bit.
Love it.
All right, so let's talk about the biggest one, I guess, in terms of an established name, and that is Aston Villa signing Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah.
As yet, from what I can see, he's not registered on the game.
Correct. Yeah, he's surely going to come in before the deadline, though. And we speculated last week, what, 8.5?
Hold up, lads.
Is he there? He's in. How much is he?
You're going to like this.
Go on.
7 mil.
No way.
I'm looking at the Villa page now.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the Villa page now.
I can't see him.
Oh, lads, I'll screen share for you, but it's definitely there. 7 million.
7?
That feels cheap.
7 million. I know. I'm going to be getting him in. It's going right in my basket. Hold on.
Transfer number 6.
He's not on the game on the computer I'm using.
He's on the. Look, I'm showing you now. He's on the computer that I'm using. 7 million.
There he is. Yeah. Okay, cool.
How bizarre. Maybe
Maybe
you're ahead in time, and I'm,
Maybe I am
calling in.
Maybe I am.
Vortex. How weird.
Yeah.
7 million makes him a very attractive option.
Yeah, I was going to say. Is he going to go straight into that Villa team? Do we think he's got to? Isn't he? Is he fit?
That'll be part of the agreement of him signing. He'll be playing, and they've got United. Then they've got Everton. Then they've got who are terrible. Everton. Leeds, Newcastle, Watford, Brighton, Southampton. After that, they have an incredible run of fixtures.
Make that number 6, Mike. Get him in.
Yeah, I might just do that.
That's cheap. 7 mil. I'm amazed at that.
Okay. The other signing of note, or one of the other signings of note, is Vitaly Mykolenko, the Ukrainian left back, signed by Everton for Dynamo Kiev, and I imagine to take the place of Luka Dina.
Yeah, who's on his way to Villa, isn't he?
Now, here in the future, there is no reference to Mykolenko yet on the game.
Okay.
I mean, Everton are terrible, as we just touched on. So, I don't care how much he is. It would be a no for me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
There's issues in the ranks, aren't there?
Big time. I mean, I actually worked with an Everton fan, and he's that disillusioned. He was actually hoping they would lose to Hull in the FA Cup at the weekend, purely because he envisaged that would be then the end for Rafa. So we talked about it, didn't we, back in the summer? With his links with Liverpool, he needed to hit the ground running, and feels a bit like he's clinging on. But if you look at Everton's fixtures, it's now or never, isn't it? Norwich away, Villa home, Newcastle away, Leeds home, Southampton away. Their next 5. I mean, if they can't get results in those games, then he won't be in a job, will he?
Whilst we're talking about new signings, have you got another one, Mike? I've got a couple more here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, go.
Nathan Patterson, another fullback for Everton, this time on the right-hand side, presumably the successor to Seamus Coleman. 11.5 million from Rangers. That's the biggest fee anyone has ever paid for a Rangers player. He's looks quite the prospect.
How much is he on the game?
He, again, I'm sorry,
He's 4.5.
Oh, if you just shot ahead of me.
Welcome to the future.
Blimey, there's all sorts of time travel. He's not on my screen, so this is very peculiar.
Yeah, they only update Everton players for me because they're trying to trap me.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you're talking next 5 games, mate, for Everton, aren't you? After that, the fixtures get trickier, but they're not in any kind of form. Are you tempted by that? Would he go straight in the team, coming straight in from Rangers? Do you think?
It's cost a lot of money.
Doesn't mean anything there, does it?
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I'm just saying that it doesn't automatically mean that he'll start because of that.
He's only ever made 12 appearances for Rangers.
I mean, that's crazy money, isn't it?
He's only ever made 12 senior club appearances. That's bizarre to spend that much money.
He must have looked outrageous. I mean, I don't know anything about him. I'll be honest, but he must. I would suggest have been outrageously good in those 12 games to sign for that kind of money. Mike, do you know much about him?
Mike's gone, but I think what he said is he's not named after the brand of shortbread.
That's exactly what I was saying. I've got another one for you, lads.
Please do.
Hassan Kamara. He's signed on a deal till 2025 for Watford from League side Nice,
Chris
who are
Kamara.
second in the French top flight at the moment. He's 27 years old. He's played 53 times for Nice, scoring 3 goals, including one against Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League in December 2020. He is currently at... Oh, no. He was going to go to the African Cup of Nations, but he's not. Just like Dennis, he's opted that rather than the sunny beaches of Cameroon, is it landlocked? I'm not sure. He would like to go to Watford. So, yeah, he signed. So they've got another left back in their ranks, 4.5. I would say steer clear. They've got so many defenders on the game. It's ridiculous. However,
And they can't defend, ironically
They
enough.
haven't kept a clean sheet in the league since they played Norwich in April.
Good stat. Good stat.
Well,
Well,
it was April or May.
So they've not actually kept one in the Premier League this season, basically.
No.
they've got
Yeah.
12 defenders listed on the game, but
Good
only
grief.
6 of them are fit.
Oh.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
yeah,
I mean, you could only be. I mean, the next 3 are quite nice, aren't they? Newcastle, Burnley away, Norwich home. But you're looking at attacking assets with Watford, aren't you? Surely, I think if they're going to stay up, it's only going to be because they're going to try and outscore the opposition like Bournemouth used to when we were in the Premier League.
Well, how about then another Watford defender, a central defender?
Watford have got 25 players out on FPL.
What? So the whole 25 players out.
They seem to have a squad of millions.
I mean, that's like Chelsea. That's insane.
Well, they've signed central defender Samir from Udinese on a deal until 2025.
There's the old Udinese link again, isn't
there
it?
it
Yes,
is.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, 4.5 million. Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. I'm here to really just warn people. Apart from Coutinho, I'm here to warn people off taking a punt on people they've never heard of on the game.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. Who else you got to avoid?
Or well, how about Kieran Trippier then? Kieran Trippier, 5 mil, Newcastle. Defense looks like it's got more holes than Boris Johnson's cover story. I would leave it well alone.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well alone.
I mean, bear in mind, Newcastle lost to Cambridge at home in the cup with pretty much their full team. But
It will their fortunes change if they get the wood chopper in? Because Kieran Trippier whipping free kicks in for Chris Wood to bang in.
it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because to me, £20 million feels like the world's gone mad. But at the same time, with Burnley losing him, is that them, unless they replace him, is that them waving the white flag in terms of staying up? Because
Well, he had
especially selling him to one of their rivals.
It's a clause, wasn't it?
They are tied. Oh, it was his contract, was it? Yeah, they're both tied on 11 points. So I don't know.
Newcastle could just, buy players who have got clauses in from rival clubs and just keep them out the way of playing. But Chris Wood scored 3 goals this season. But maybe he'll feel reinvigorated under a different coach, a fresh start. I mean, playing for Burnley, just getting balls lumped up to constantly, maybe he wasn't enjoying that. Maybe he sees a challenge. But as a Newcastle fan, I mean, it's got to be a bit of an underwhelming signing when you look at all the money that they've got come in. Can you see any sense out of it?
Yeah, I absolutely can see sense because it's someone that I imagine. Well, he does. He knows the league inside out. He's an experienced player. He's not a young prospect, which is what you would. If you're Newcastle, you're probably going to buy exciting young prospects or players coming to the end of their career that are kind of at the Galactico stage. You don't need that in a relegation battle. Neither of those really work for you. You need somebody that's established in the Premier League, that knows this stuff and is gonna offer them something different, frankly. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense now. I'm not sure he's worth 20 million, but I think if Newcastle, you're going to pay over the odds for whoever you bring in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Find me a striker in the Premier League that Newcastle could buy now that would be better than Chris Wood. Name one.
I like this game. You carry on listing players to avoid, and I'll jump on that. Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. He doesn't. I mean, he hasn't got the scrap for the top 4, let alone a relegation scrap.
Yeah, but he's Arsenal would get rid of him for I think they'd be happy to have him off their books. So if with the
there was rumours of him going there on loan, actually, wasn't there?
Really?
Yeah, I did see that somewhere. Yeah, I can't see that. No.
Likewise, Martial.
Again, not a fighter. He's not a relegation scrapper.
No, that is true. He's not a team player. I would not have that behaviour in my establishment. That is for sure.
Indeed, indeed. Right, look, lads, we better finish up now.
I've
we
got
need-
2 more players, 2 more signings. Oh no, one more.
Good grief. Go on then.
One more. So we've been over Chris Wood, but as good as a new signing, Patrick Bamford. He's back. He was due to play in the FA Cup, but then
Couldn't be bothered.
manager said maybe not. But he's got 75% chance of playing. His fixtures have turned: West Ham, Newcastle, Villa, Everton, United, Spurs, Leicester, Norwich. Oh, boys, is it
Have you brought him
time
in?
to get
Have you
back
brought
on
him
the
in?
bandwagon? I haven't done anything yet.
Of course, you're going to bring him in. You have to bring him in. You love him.
If Bielsa says in the conference that he's playing, I'm bringing him in. No, actually, I'm not. I've got 2 Watford strikers at the moment, and they've both got 2 games. It would be mere insanity to bring him in. But
You do love
next
him.
week,
Did you just reference Patrick Bamford playing in the conference? Oh.
He'll be there in a few years' time, boys.
Yeah, it won't be long.
Oh, how dare you! How very dare you!
Don't
Right,
know
lads,
how you
we've
love him that much, but anyway.
I'm always the timekeeper here, lads, I know, but we've got to draw it to a close. So I need your punts. Players of 2% or less ownership and the lowest return amongst ourselves will have their captain picked by a listener, but a listener who picks their own punts. So do get in touch on the old socials.
Can I go first this week? I never go first.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to go for who I've got. So yeah, go for it.
Cavani, 2% ownership currently.
All right.
Pulisic for me, 0.9% ownership.
Yeah, I like
that.
it.
I like it a lot.
With a double game week,
Double game week as well.
I'm
2
going
chances.
Patson Daka.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Leicester. Yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
He hasn't gone to the African Cup of Nations. I don't think his
Leicester got no
team.
players, haven't they? They've got no Vardy. He's got to play. That's a good shout. I like that, Mike. That's sneaky.
Thank you. I mean, he's rated at 80%, but I'm confident he'll pull through.
No Vardy, no Iheanacho. If he's fit,
Exactly.
he's
Yeah.
I don't think Zambia qualified for the African Cup of Nations, did they? Were
No,
they in the
Gambia
list?
did and Zimbabwe did, but no Zambia.
The merge of the 2. Yeah. Okay. What happens if you mix Gambia with Zimbabwe? You get Zambia. Yeah, but I think
it borders the 2 countries. That's why it's called Zambia.
Oh, there you go. What a simple way to name a country. I like that. But yeah, so if he's fit, he'll play because Vardy's out for a couple of years or something. So yeah.
By the way, I've made that up about Zambia, just to be clear. Definitely made that up. Just before we get letters. Just before we get letters.
Okay. By all means, do write in. It's fantasythreesomepod@gmail.com.
Or PO box.
No,
there's no PO boxes.
There's no
So the punts were Cavani,
Pulisic,
Daka, and Pulisic. Oh, that's strong. It feels strong this week, gents.
very attacking boys this week. Very
Surely
attacking. I like it.
One of
those has got to come in. We shall see.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the massively long AFCON themed quiz in the middle.
You're welcome.
And we hope you have a better double game week and just enjoy this. As the vicar who plays football with us says,
Oh gosh, Monday
let's
nights
just
again.
enjoy this. Yeah, let's just
Goodbye
have some
now.
fun. Goodbye.
Zimbabwe.
I'm sorry, I'm not ending broadcast. Zimbabwe. In what way is that even?
Sounds a bit like bye bye. Zimbabwe.
No, it doesn't. But anyway, we'll go with that. It's fine.
Are you happy with that, Mike? You want to pick another country?
Do you want to sting us out like you used to, or
Equatorial Guinea.
I've got it.
go on?
Go.
See you, Larone.